Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session to explore Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. And my name is Manasi Shahani, and I will be walking you all through this particular tool, which is becoming very popular. That is the M365 Copilot Chat. So, like I said, my name is Manasi Shahani, and I am an MCT. I work with Synergetics, who is also the sponsor of this video. And we are a learning services company wherein we provide learning services to different companies, to colleges on different technologies like Java, .NET, data, and AI. So today we are just exploring one such technology that is a proprietary Microsoft tool, right, which is called as the Copilot. So what is this? How can you use this? Just a small demo, I mean, just a small video on this particular tool for you to get started into this journey. So come on, let's go ahead and explore this tool. So let's first of all understand what is the Microsoft Copilot Chat. See, because whenever you travel, I don't know if you've traveled by plane or not. So we always know there's a pilot, and along with the pilot, we know it's not called a co-pilot, but it's called as the first officer, who's present to help the pilot, to assist the pilot in case of need, right? That is what the first officer does, but it is also the co-pilot. So what is exactly a co-pilot? A co-pilot is nothing but an assistant tool, an AI assistant tool. And we all know since 2022, since ChatGPT came into picture, right? We have been seeing the use of it for writing or drafting emails, for planning out sessions, planning out agendas, planning out a different lot of things, right? And assisting us and helping us in doing our work at a faster and with great efficiency. So that is what exactly Copilot is. So it's a proprietary, it's also an LLM, a large language model, similar to your ChatGPT, similar to your Gemini, right? But it's a tool that is much more, I mean, it's a proprietary Microsoft tool. So what does this do basically? It assists you in any work that you want to do, right? In brainstorming, in writing, coding, right? Searching anything, okay, and doing any repetitive task so that it makes your work easy. That is what is basically the Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. Now in Copilot, because it's a M365 product, okay, like how Word, Excel, PPT, they are also M365 products. So this is also one of M365 products. So it doesn't come free for everyone. Of course, yes, there is a free version and also a licensed version to this, right? So there are a few things that the free version can do, and there are a few things that the licensed version can do. So we all know free things don't have all the capabilities, right? We need to purchase a license to get the best of all. So that is the difference. So here in free, if I have to talk about the most important difference, is that let's say I want to use my organizational data. So see, basically the whole and sole purpose of M365 is to make your task within the enterprise very easy. Okay, that is what basically, because M365 we all know is used within enterprises. So it's the same thing with your M365 Copilot chat also. So if you have to even use M365 Copilot chat, you have to have at least a work or an organizational ID. That means it should have a domain name, and you should have one of the E3 or the E5 licenses attached to it in order to use this Copilot, right? You should have the permission, you should be a tenant and all those things, right? I'm not going to go into that detail, but you need a license, at least an M365 license, so that you get the free version of the Copilot chat. So, of course, free version will use the data or will search information from the web. Okay, it will not be your organizational data that it will be using. So in case you want to use your organizational data and of course use different other benefits of the Copilot chat, then of course you have to use the license version of the Copilot chat. So this is the main differences between the two. So you have to decide depending upon your business case, how important it is. So you need to purchase that license or you can use the free license. So how to access the Copilot chat? So there are multiple ways, okay, that you can use the Copilot chat. One is, of course, in the web browser. You can use this URL m365copilot.com and you can access the Copilot chat. Again, you will have to log in. So if you see it's important to have a work email. Okay, that is a very important aspect. So you need a work email that is having a domain name of your company. Okay, that on Microsoft or whichever company you work for, you need that. Then the second is you can use the Edge browser, Microsoft Edge browser you can use, which is available on the right-hand side corner. You can definitely use that and ask questions, summarize, brainstorm, okay, write a code or generate a code, whatever you want. You can do that over here. Like I said, this is an M365 product. So this is also incorporated in all the M365 products of that are there, whether it's Word, Excel, Outlook, PPT, PPT, Teams, okay, everywhere you will find this particular application. So you will see that colorful symbol, right, which is there. That is nothing but the Copilot. So any M365 product, if you use, this experience has also been incorporated inside that. Okay, so whether you use the Office 365 application, whether on the desktop, so even on the desktop with Windows, also you get this Copilot available. Okay, so you get the Copilot application on your device, right? So you might see if you have a Windows operating system, you will see that colorful icon again on the bottom of your desktop. You will see that and you can use that experience. So in case you have to work with the Copilot so this is the generic interface of the Copilot. Okay, this is where you start asking questions. So what is exactly Copilot chat? Because we all know that AI is something that is not new. It's been there in the market for so many years, right? It's been there since 1960s. Okay, just that since 2002, because OpenAI got their Chat GPT model, it kind of has also incorporated, or even layman has started using the AI everywhere. Non-technical people who have no knowledge on the technicalities on building on how to use AI are also now capable of using it. How? Because of this chat or this particular, because of the LLMs that are there, right? So Copilot is an LLM only. So how your chat GPT works, just that this works in the Microsoft ecosystem, in the Microsoft M365 ecosystem, so that you can use it for professional and educational purposes, right? So this is the interface. So the very first thing that you have to do. Now, how do you use it? How do you chat? Because as the name says, Copilot chat, meaning it's like having a conversation. Is as if and you have an assistant who is sitting and you're talking to him or her and you want to get your work done. So it's as good as having a conversation with them, talking to them. And whenever you have a conversation, you ask questions, you give instructions, right? And in return, you should get a response, right? So the same thing is happening over here. So you give a question, you are having a conversation, and that conversation, that very first question that you ask, exactly what you want the co-pilot to do or help you with in simple natural language, that is called as a prompt. So what is prompt? It's nothing but a conversation, a use of natural plain English language, clear language, right? Provide context and etc. We will see those details definitely. And tell your assistant exactly what kind of information, what kind of data, or what kind of response you want. That is what is a prompt. So once you give that, okay, your Copilot chat, the next step that it is going to follow, it's going to be very clear in mentioning from where it is retrieving this data, is getting the data, verify the sources, whether it's web, it's your organizational data, if you have the license. So it is validating and keeping you in the loop. It's not hiding anything. Okay, it's telling you, okay, this is the source from where I got the data, where I got the information. Even if it's third party and Microsoft has an alliance or has a SLA with them, an agreement with them, okay, it will verify those sources and definitely tell you. And lastly, you can also follow it up if you feel you're not happy with the response, you feel it can be better, or you want more information, right? You want to keep on continuing with the with the conversation, not with the argument. Then, of course, you can ask follow up questions, right? At times, you do have follow up questions, so you can do that even over here. Okay, so this is what is basically the Copilot chat. Now, you might be also wondering because see, we are working with data. Data is something that is very private, whether it's on the web or it's an organizational data. You need some kind of protection, right? It has to be made secure. You can't afford your data to be lost, to be corrupted. So it has to be protected, has to be secure. So there is a standard that is followed even in the free version. The it's not that Microsoft doesn't take care of that. It is taken care over here, and it uses a protocol or policy that is called as the enterprise data protection. So what does this do? This basically keeps your data protected, your organization data, whatever data, private data you're sharing via that prompt. Also, it is going to protect that. Okay, so this is the standard, this is the set of policy that is used to protect and safeguard your data. So whether you work, whether it's a free, the Copilot chat free, or it's the license, the data will always, of course, for license, you get better protocols, better standards are used to protect it. But even in free, it doesn't take into account the security. I mean, it takes into account the security and the privacy of your data. So this is just a generic introduction of what is Copilot and what you can do, right? And we all know the very first step that I said, which is the most important part in your conversation, is asking questions, is writing a prompt. So let's see what are the different strategies that you can use in order to write an effective prompt, because how you write or frame that question, frame that instruction it's all going to boil down to that. And you get a response in that manner only, because that's what the Copilot is going to interpret and assist you with and give you a response. Right? So here writing optimal prompts, or I mean writing good prompts, effective prompts is something that is very, very important. So here let's go ahead and see what are the different things you have to keep in mind whenever you write a prompt. So the first thing is context. Okay, that why do you want, what do you need? Okay, who is involved? Why do you need it? Why do you want Copilot to help you with? And what is the purpose? What is the context? Provide that detail. What is your goal? What are you preparing for? Is it a client meeting? Is it some party that you're planning? It's a New Year's party, or it's Valentine's week that is coming. Are you planning for that? Right? All those things you have to specify. Is it a speech for something, for some kind of event? Right? If you give that context, okay, and you provide those details, so what will happen is that Copilot will understand it better and give you a response also in that way, because you know what is your objective, you know what you want the Copilot to assist you with. It will effectively give you a response. So whether it's a client meeting, it's a marketing strategy that you're planning for a product, what is that product? If you mention that detail, provide that context, right? Provide the company name that you're targeting, provide the audience details that you are targeting, provide that entire context, then it will be better for the Copilot to respond. Then the second step in writing a good prompt, the second ingredient that you should keep in mind is the goal, is your objective again. What response do you want from the Copilot? Are you looking for an email? Are you looking for an essay? Are you looking for some bullet points? Are you looking for it in PDF? Right? What is your objective? What is your goal? That, okay, you mentioned your context, that this is what you need. But in what format do you need it? What is the desired output that you want it in? That is what basically is the goal, right? You need to give examples. You need to give like, okay, if you want to build, you had a party recently or last year, you had planned a party and you had built some invitations. So let's say you want to improve upon those invitations, or you want to give Copilot a example of that invitation that you had used last year. So you have to give that sample, you have to give that goal that, okay, this is the objective, this is how the invitation should look like. You can definitely modify it, change it, make it better this year, right? So that is what is your goal. Then also mention sources. From where do you want, like I said, samples also you can submit links. Okay, you want to make a change or anything, you can even do that. Specify from where the Copilot should get the uh, data from, right? Should get information from, so that it gives a better response, better result. Okay, upload some files, like I said, upload some previous invitations if you had some examples of emails, how it should look like, right? All those details, if you mention, then your response is definitely going to be better. Okay. And lastly, what is your expectation? How should Copilot respond to you? Set your expectation. Like if it's a party, so for a party, it has to be less formal, it has to be more friendly, more fun, more excitement sort of tone you should have, right? You should mention that. If you mention that, because it will, of course, give you a better response, right? Your objective is satisfied, the result is very much clear, and you are also okay. Yes, I got what I need, what I wanted or I needed, right? It has kind of um, fulfilled your request. It feels like that. So set your expectation. It's a business summit. It's a business. It has to use a professional tone for it, or a friendly tone if it's a party, right? So in a conversation also, whenever we have to maintain that decorum, a kind of a kind of tone we have to maintain, right? If it's right, whenever we are having a conversation, if it's a debate, it has to be more respect, it has to be more professional. In a court also, right, we all see that the lawyers address the judge with your lordship or whatever, your ladyship, and etc. So it is the decorum of that, the tone is set in that. So here also you have to mention that, okay, which audience are you aiming at? Is it, mention the age group, etc. So all those things really make a lot of difference whenever you use the Copilot, right? So this is the ingredients, the 4 steps that you have to keep in mind to write an effective prompt and get a good result. So this is how. So if you look at this prompt, this is just a sample example that I am sharing here. So you can see that you can write an effective prompt. So if you see, I work in marketing and focus on competitor research. So this is basically setting the context. Like, why do I need it? What do I need? Or who is involved, right? Who am I basically? Why do I need it? Why am I using you, right? And what is my area of focus, right? When you mention the goal, what response do you want? Give me a concise summary of recent news about this company. So here I'm telling my goal, explaining my goal to Copilot that, okay, this is what I expect from you. This is my objective. I want a concise summary. I don't have so much time. I want to get a summative response, right? So this is what you can do. And then you mention your sources, your source from where you want to extract the information. Focus on web articles from the last 2 months. So this is your source. That, okay, go through news articles on this company. Not all the articles, the previous articles, there could be n number of articles on that company. Just focus on the last 2 months of articles that is there, right? That is what basically you are telling the co-pilot, right? And then you're mentioning, okay, I want a summary. So summary can be in one line, it can be 10 sentences or whatever paragraphs. So you're mentioning the expectation. Yes, it's a summary. My objective is summary. But how many lines do you want in that summary is what you have to mention, and that is the expectation. And you're saying, please keep it business, keep the tone professional, keep it a business tone, right? So you're mentioning your expectation, and this will get you a better response because you have all the ingredients. So if you miss out any ingredient, we all know that the food is not going to be good. If I forget salt, it's not going to taste the same, right? We don't like it. It will be bland. If you don't add spices, we all know there will be not, I mean, you don't like it. So it's the same thing with your prompt also. So how good you write your prompt, that is going to be important. So there are, of course, certain best practices that you have to follow. Your language has to be clear, concise. It has to be natural language. Be polite, give examples, keep it conversational, because you can't have a different tone. You can't be unfriendly with them. You can't be, you have to keep it appropriate. Do not use jargon or any informal language. Keep it formal, like I said, keep it more accurate, keep it, I mean, look at your information that you're sharing, keep the details precise. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Use simple language. Keep your grammar and punctuation in check, because that also matters. It's a natural language you're mentioning, you're writing in English. So that is going to be very, very important, right? Legibly, meaning stick to the grammar and the punctuations that are there. Ask for feedbacks, write follow-up questions. If you feel you can make the prompt a little better, so ask further questions to the co-pilot till the time you get a satisfied response. So these are some of the examples that you can start with. So if you see, everywhere it's very polite. So if you say, could you, can you, right? Help me analyze, use these terms. So you will definitely get better responses. So this is for the web. This is you can use for the free version. So some more examples, right? For work, if you want to use, you can do that. Now, let's say you don't know how to get started by writing a prompt. So on your M365, you have a prompt gallery, a repository has been created that you can use, and you can definitely use one of these prompts and get started into the prompting, take inspiration from it, and of course, go ahead and write a prompt, right? So this is what you can do using the prompt gallery, and you can use the Copilot chat in order to make your task easy. So this is how the prompt gallery looks. So you can go select one of the prompts, okay, use these prompts, get started. Or if you want, you can even share the prompt in the prompt gallery for somebody else in your organization to use it also. So that is also available here, right? So this is just a basic of the Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. So you can just, I'll just show you where you can go and explore it, and you can just start prompting. So here the game is all about the prompting, whether it's Chat GPT, Gemini, anywhere you go. We all know the entire game is about the prompting. So if you're, I have to, so I've already logged into my email account, and let's just see the chat interface. I'm going to use it online. So you can see I've logged in to my Office 365 here, and you can see a lot more details here. So you can see this below is the prompt gallery. So if you click on show more, you will see the prompt gallery. You can click on this prompt gallery here, and you can see different prompts that are there. You can even search for them, filter it. Okay, what is your purpose? What is your context? You can mention that, and you can use the gallery here. So it also maintains the history, okay, of whatever chats you have, whatever conversations you have. It maintains a history here. And not just that, you can also use it in Word, Excel, all the Microsoft this thing. Another thing that you can also do is you can create agents. Okay, but it is available in the free version also. But keep in mind, in order to use the agents, you will have to, your M365 administrator will have to give you that permission. Without the permission from the M365 administrator, you will not be able to use the agents. So you all can go and definitely search for agents. Lot of agents available in the Copilot chat also. So here, let's just write a very simple prompt. Okay, I'm just going to write a very simple prompt, and let's see a response. So like I said, you have to use all the ingredients. So that is what we are doing here. So you can say, I am a HR manager tasked with planning an upcoming party, or let's say Holi is coming, okay, in a few days, in a month's time. Holi is coming, upcoming Holi party. You can also mention more details, which is an Indian festival. I want to um, plan an event. You can say a half a day event. I want to okay, with fun activities, group with fun and group activities as well. Can you come? Can you come up? Agenda and create and invite. So I'm setting my expectation if you see. So I gave the context. Okay, to this, you can also add a source in case you had planned a party last year or something. So you can definitely add that also over here. So I don't have an invite, of course, I'm not from the HR team and etc. So you can definitely add it here. Can you come up with an agenda and create an invitation of the party? So add more details like when are you going to host the party? When is the date? From what time to what time is the party? Because you've just specified half day. So you can add in more details here, create an invitation of the party, create an invitation, create an email invitation, let's say, with RSVPs, because we all know all of us don't come to the office nowadays. So you can include that and keep the tone friendly. So again, my expectation, you can see I'm specifying that. Can you come up with an agenda and create an email invitation with RSVPs? Keep the tone, add the agenda to the invite. Yeah. So let's just see what response we get here. So I'm being more specific. Okay. So you can see it's kind of giving me. So you could also add the date. So it has picked up the date, or you can just add the date. You can say, okay, I want it for 4th of March when Holi is there, or a day before that. So you can just mention that. So you can see from 10 to 2, it has done it. You can say, okay, I don't want it from 10 to 2. I want it for, let's say, from 2 to 5 or 1 to 5, whatever timing you want, you can do that. So you can see it's created an agenda and it is given you. Of course, you can definitely change this, right? It's a lot. You can, of course, make it a little better. Like I said, it all depends upon the prompt you write. So that's it, everyone. Just a quick, just a brief introduction to exactly what is the Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. And you can now go explore this tool. It's absolutely free. Just you need is a work email. So ensure you have that and you can definitely use and take the assistance of this tool. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video.